What's going on, guys? Chris here with Forge Through Faith, and today we're going to be going over some tips and tricks for 21.2. The workout for today is 4 time, 10 dumbbell snatches, 15 burpee box jump overs, 20 snatches, 15, 30, 15, 40, 15, 50, 15. Repeat of 17.1. So, a couple things to do for your warm-up. First thing you're going to want to do is really get your aerobic system going, get a little bit of a sweat going, get the blood moving. I kind of wanted to do it in a little bit of a more interesting way than just hopping on the bike or rower for a little bit, but you're probably going to want to choose the rower. Reason being is because the workout is a lot of extension, a lot of hinging, okay? So the rower will kind of help warm up that leg drive motion as well as your low back for what you're going to be doing in the workout. So 9-minute row, every 3 minutes, 5 no push-up, no jump burpees, 20-second side plank per side. Again, warming up that motion as well as turning on your core and your obliques, since as you pull the dumbbell, there's that little bit of a twisting motion. So making sure that motion is warmed up is going to be super helpful, okay? So mobility, obviously you're going to want to get your low back, probably some soft tissue work, foam rolling and such to make sure the muscles in that low back are open and ready to rock. You're also then going to want to open your shoulders or your lats. Reason being is because as you pull from the floor and punch above your head, you don't want this to be tight, so the dumbbell's out here, so you have to fight to get it back over your head. So if this is open, it's going to be really easy to punch it above your head, okay? And then warming up your hips, because as you do your burpee box jump overs, you're going to be able to step up more effectively, having open hips in that regard. Then some activation work. You're going to do 3 rounds of 10 single leg glute bridges per side, 10 Superman holds, or Superman reps, I should say, kind of like, again, warming up the extension in that low back, 10 banded clamshells per side to continue to warm up those glutes, 10 banded presses. I'm then going to have you just take some time to play around with the movements, alternating dumbbell snatches and burpee box jump overs, and 3 to 4 rounds going faster than race pace. So about a 10-second row hard. Again, we want to get warmed up to sprint at the end, get that aerobic system ready to kind of throttle it from the jump. Into 4 alternating snatches, I'll say 4 to 6, and then 4 burpee box jump overs as a sprint. Obviously not an all-out, leave nothing in a tank type of sprint, but one that's faster than the pace you're going to be doing in the workout. Rest as needed between rounds, okay? A little bit of strategy. This workout is what I would consider a slow burn, meaning don't come out too hot. The first sets are a trap, okay? If you think about it this way, 10, 20, and 30 snatches, that's 60 total snatches. After you finish around the 30, you're not even halfway through the workout. You have 90 reps in the back half in the last 2 sets, so don't come out too fast. The goal is to move as smooth as humanly possible on both the snatches and the burpee box jump overs, okay? If you need to break on these snatches, plan them out ahead of time, okay? Break them up and break them up early. If you're someone who can hold on to the dumbbell, I'm going to go over some movement efficiency stuff on how to continue moving with the dumbbell at a pace that will allow you to be a little bit more efficient, maybe slow down your heart rate and such. And then movement efficiency, I'm going to move the camera. I'm doing this solo cast, so you'll see me kind of moving the camera into a better position, but I'll show you some transition work with the dumbbell as well as ways to slow down the dumbbell at your shoulder on your dumbbell snatches, burpee box jump over technique, and some equipment setup. Dumbbell transition. All right, at this point, guys, I'll speak for myself. In 2017, I did not know how to transition in the air and do touch and go dumbbell snatches. All right, so I'm transitioning on the ground. If you think about transitioning on the ground, right, you punch above your head, you come on down. Here, I'm much longer time under tension, hunched over in my low back. That's going to fatigue it more. What you're going to want to do is punch above your head, on the way down, transition, touch, and go into the next one, okay? What I like to think about when transitioning this dumbbell, guys, is it's not target practice. I'm not trying to grab perfectly in the middle of the dumbbell. What I do is kind of make like an OK symbol with my hand. And as I catch it, I let the dumbbell slide into that OK symbol. So the fat part lands on my thumb, my index finger, allowing it to just kind of sit there. So that makes it really easy to transition on the way down as opposed to trying to grab the handle perfectly, okay? Now again, I talked about breaking up the snatches where you can personally, and I'm not an elite level CrossFitter. Elite level CrossFitters are going to go unbroken no matter what. I'm not elite. I'm planning on going unbroken. Not that everyone should, but a way to slow down the movement so you can stay unbroken longer is if I punch. If I start to get tired, I just bring it to my shoulder, take a breath, transition it from there. Punch to the shoulder, transition. Punch to the shoulder, transition. Now this is a much slower cycle time. However, if I feel my heart rate getting too high, I'll transition there. This way I can keep moving the dumbbell as opposed to having to put it down, hands on my hips, rest, stuff like that, okay? As far as equipment setup is concerned, my recommendation is to put the dumbbell right next to the box. This is going to allow you to transition as best as possible. If you were watching the open workout, or the open announcement, the dumbbells were behind the box. That's for ease of viewing, allowing the guys to stay in lanes, but that's not the most effective setup because you have an odd number of burpee box jump overs, so you're going to end up on the opposite side of the dumbbell and have to walk around. So if it is next to the box, I can punch, do my last snatch, put it down, step, step, start doing my burpee box jump overs. Okay? Then, whichever side you're on, I hit my last rep, step, step, start snatching. It's going to be the most effective and efficient way to cut down on transition time, okay? Especially in the beginning, or even throughout the workout, I should say, you have a decent number of transitions, so making them as efficient as possible is going to be super helpful. On the box jump overs, the vast majority of us guys are going to have to slow down this movement to be as effective and efficient as possible. So personally, what I'm planning on doing, and again, you have the line in the middle, so your body has to split the line, chest and thighs to the floor. I'm going to step up, replace one of my hands with my one foot, bring the other up, kind of at an angle, and then when I jump, one foot's going in the middle of the box, one foot on the edge, keeping my hips as low as I can. All right, I don't want to jump too high. That's wasted energy and wasted height. I want to stay as low as possible. So from this position, I can easily pivot off this foot, step down, go into my next rep. Okay? Pivot, step, step. As the workout goes on, if you're effective at this movement, for example, for me, for the last 15, I'll kind of hammer it, bring both legs up at the same time, bounce to the other side. Okay, kind of like the movement that Justin Medeiros was doing. Now he's a very elite level CrossFitter, so he was kind of doing that the whole time. Now that's kind of where you're going to want your equipment to be set up. Those are going to be effectively the most effective ways to do these movements. Make sure you warm up the movements the best you can. Last thing before I move on. Everyone last time was complaining about their low back. If you watched the open announcement, Sam Quant was a lot of hip hinge. Justin Medeiros sank his butt. Okay, so he would transition, sink his butt here. That, guys, is going to save your low back because you're using your legs more instead of just hinging and asking your hips and low back to do all the work. Okay, so in that regard, it's going to be best, again, for most of us to utilize our legs or kind of transition between the two to save our low back the best we can. Okay, so practice the movements, get ready to rock, and let's see if we can beat your 2017 scores.